Y'all remember this scene from How to Get Away with Murder? Spoiler alert, if you ain't seen it yet, I'm about to talk about it, so scroll. That moment when Annalise found out what her mama did to Uncle Clyde, because she was steady mad at her mama about this Uncle Clyde business. But then, after she got into a huge fight with her mama after Sam died, I told you there was going to be spoilers. Her mama pulls up and they have mad animosity between them. She talk about, oh, nobody's seen or heard from you since you moved to this big old fancy house. You never invited me up here. This, that, and the third. Annalise, being the shark that she is, she was like, you know what, mama, let's not do this. You know exactly why I don't invite you to my home. You know what that man did to me and you ain't do nothing about it. And her mama goes on this huge spiel about how it happened to her and her mother and it happens to everybody and ain't no need to make no big deal out of it running your mouth. She wasn't feeling that and she told her mama she needs to go. Get on the next flight. Get out my house. So she comes to her daughter's room later that night. She like, hey, I got my flight leaving tomorrow or whatever. I'm leaving tomorrow. But she came in and she started brushing her hair and telling her a story. So she started off one of those, you know how black people do. They tell you stories like vaguely. So she starts off talking about her little house and how much she loved her little house. This, that, and the third. And, you know, she bought it while she was pregnant with Annalise. Annalise steady listening. And she was like, one day I get a knock on the door and it's your Uncle Clyde. Uncle Clyde needed somewhere to stay until he got on his feet. All Uncle Clyde liked to do was smoke cigarettes and drink hooch. So every night, Uncle Clyde would fall asleep on my couch with a lit cigarette in his mouth and his hooch in his hand. And I just come over and put out the cigarette and put up the hooch. One night, she said she was asleep and something told her to get up. So she got up and she went to go check on her baby. When she got to her baby door, which was Annalise, she see Uncle Clyde coming out the room. She instantly knew what Uncle Clyde went in there to do. So what she went ahead and did was one night while all the children was asleep, she woke them up and took them to her sister's house. She took them to her sister's house and then, I missed the part of the story where she like, I used to love to cook. And when I would cook, I would have to light my stove with a long candle. It's one of them throwback stoves that you gotta turn on the boiler, the pilot light, gotta hit that pilot light. So she said that night, she woke them all up, took them to her sister's house. He would sleep on the couch as per usual, with that cigarette lit in his mouth as per usual. And she took her long match and she lit that very flammable hooch. And that man and that house burnt to a crisp. If you look closely at the series of faces Annalise is making in each one of these scenes, this is her figuring out what her mom, because her mama didn't say that she killed him. She just said that night that house burnt to a crisp. And sometimes so she said something vague, like sometimes all you need is a long match, wink, wink. But slowly but surely, Annalise, she's listening. She's just down and out listening to the story. Then as the pieces start coming together and she starts hearing what her mama say, you see the shock in her face. Look at this. She's like, what the? And she realized that her mama, that you saw her heal in that moment, because she spent all that time thinking her mama didn't care or whatever. Nah, her mama took that body. Her mama caught that body. Uncle Clive is Uncle Crispy.